Evening, everybody. It is 5:24, and this is your closing comment for Monday, March the 25th, and it is video number 2123. I actually could have slept through today's entire market. Um, the futures were down. We got the Boeing news early. That rallied them a bit, but at the end of the day, the Dow was down 162.26, down 0.41%. The Nasdaq was down 44 and change. By the way, the Dow closed on the low. The Nasdaq closed mid-range. The S&P down 1599.31 on the low. The Russell up, the only one up $2.17 or a tenth of a percent. And the biggest loser was the Dow Jones Transports, down 101.91 or 0.65. Market internals were about as you'd expect on a day like today, 1.6 to 1 down on the NYSE, 1.4 down on the Nasdaq, and volume again was lower, 4.6 billion shares traded. So the management upset at Boeing, the CEO leaving at the end of the year, but also some changes on the board, which seemed to be um, very exciting as far as the market was concerned. Boeing has moved from 177 and a half to 196 in the last 5 trading days. So 11%, 10.7%, that's a pretty decent move considering it's coming off the bottom. Um, the big names coming under the gun by the EU, Google, Apple, and Meta. Um, the Google was only down 62 cents. Apple was down $1.43. The big mover was Meta, though, 503.02, down 656 or 1.3%. The Boeing, by the way, closed 191.14, and even though that was close to the low, it was still up $2.50 or 1.4%. We had the China news for AMD and Intel this morning. Both of those were down hard, but regained some of the loss. AMD closing 178.63, down $1.02, and Intel 41.83, down 74 cents or 1.7%. The big gainer today in the NYSE was our old friend Disney. It closed 100. It's trading right now 119.17, and that's up $3.30 or 2.85%. In the last 8 days, that's come from 109 and a half to today's high at about 119 and a half. So 10% there also. Um, in the futures market, we had the crude turning back up a dollar 32 at the close, looking pretty constructive. The 5 day has rolled back to steady after almost having a crossover a week and a half ago around the $78 area. The high close here in this recovery is 82.73, so a close higher than that probably sends us back up to this 85 and a half area. And I'll have to look at the XLE again. The silver, I'm not sure how this happened, but it was trading around 24.82. But for some reason, after having it down 3, they settled it at 24.89, which was up almost a nickel. It still was an inside day. I would rather have seen it close at 82, where it was trading, instead of 89. But I actually am thinking seriously about adding to it. We have this MACD rolling over with the stochastics back to the zero line after being up here at 38. I know the relative strength is around 52, which is kind of neutral, but I do expect that to move back. Nat gas was down a couple of pennies. The gold was up 1640. Um, the big chart for tonight in the futures is clearly the Bitcoin, up over 7,000 today, 11%. 71 130 up 71 and 55, 11.18. So it looks like, this was enough of a pullback. I mean, it was pretty extreme from 74.4 all the way down to 61 or 69.55. So we'll see how this looks as it gets into these high closes between about 73 and 74,000. And that's about it, folks. We have durable goods tomorrow. Durable goods X transportation at 8:30. At 9 o'clock, we have the January FA housing price index. New home sales were lower than expected, but not by much. We have the January S&P Case-Shiller index. And at 10 o'clock, when the market's open, we have March consumer credit. Consensus is 106.7 versus the prior number of 106.7. So we'll see how that works out. All right, folks, I'll be back first thing in the morning.